Friday to the Ungovernables, the Captain's Crew, the LFA family, McGroin Nation, coming to you live from the deep red state of Tennessee on rumble.com/LFA TV. Welcome to Ungoverned. Happy to be here on a Friday. Happy it's the end of the week. And boy, is there a lot to talk about today. Israel striking Iran. Wild internet sensationalists proclaiming World War III. And by the way, if it was World War III, every time everybody on the internet said it was World War III, we'd be in World War 90. Give it up, guys. Enough. The internet's a crazy place, obviously. And I would like to believe that there are a lot of people who feel this way about it. And some people misinterpreted it as if I haven't been saying, I support Israel for, my goodness, a very long time. My stance on it is I have no problem with Israel attacking Ukraine. Ukraine, my gosh. Well, I don't have a problem with them attacking Ukraine either. Let's be honest. I don't have an issue with Israel attacking Iran. I don't. I support Israel. This is their right, I believe, to defend themselves against Iran. And people will say, but Iran didn't attack Israel. Well, they did. They have proxy groups in the region that they are funding, that we know about. The whole world knows about it. It's not up for debate. They've been terrorizing Israel for decades, and they're getting close to a nuclear bomb, which I think all of us yesterday agreed in the chat that we don't want Iran to have a nuclear bomb. So I don't have a problem with Israel making strategic moves and taking strategic strikes and precise, right, surgical attacks and tactical attacks to disable Iran's nuclear program. However, I support my country more than I support any other country. Okay? If Israel wants to try and take out Iran's nuclear facilities, that's their business. Based on how Iran has treated them over the last few decades with proxy groups terrorizing Israel, I don't blame Israel. I don't blame them whatsoever. All I'm asking, and please, if there's one thing I can't stand, it is taking what I say out of context. I speak extremely bluntly for this reason, so that you can't take what I'm saying out of context. If Israel wants to attack Iran, Israel wants to take the initiative to disable Iran's nuclear facilities, Israel wants to essentially neuter Iran and take out the teeth of any attacks they may launch on them going forward, Israel can do it. That is their business. I support them doing it. I don't blame them for doing it. All I ask is that the United States remains firmly on the sidelines. No boots on the ground. That's number one. No freebies. That's number two. No massive aid packages. That's number three. If Israel would like some of our weapons, they're more than welcome to buy them. I don't have a problem with selling them weapons. None whatsoever. But that, to me, should be the extent of U.S. involvement, period. End of story. We do not need another foreign war, tax dollar, black hole anywhere in the world, let alone the Middle East again. Okay? It's not our fight unless Iran attacks our soldiers or military bases, etc. I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think Iran is going to do that. I don't think they're that stupid. If Israel is successful in taking out Iran's nuclear program, they will have made the world a much safer place. But this is their fight, not our fight. Now, who am I rooting for? Israel. Who do I want to win this conflict? Israel. Who do I believe is right and wrong in this conflict? Israel is right. Iran is wrong. No boots on the ground. no freebies, no aid. I believe, and I think we've all seen, that Israel is it's well within their capabilities to defeat an opponent like Iran on their own. That is it. I don't like war. I don't want a war. I don't want American soldiers fighting another country's war. They say, but Iran chants death to America. I get it. But they haven't, as a nation, attacked us yet. And I'll even say this. If U.S. military bases are attacked by Iran, I still don't want a full-on war with Iran. How do we respond, I think? How do we respond if U.S. military installations, bases are attacked by Iran? We do exactly what we did to General Qasem Soleimani. We drop a bomb on his head. We leave nothing left. And we send a message that it has to stop. I have said on a number of occasions I support Israel attacking Iran, and that, according to half of the internet, makes me an Israeli shill. But I caveat that with I don't want the U.S. involvement in this conflict, which means I'm also an anti-Semite. It's interesting. I'm all these things. I just want our country and our troops to remain out of foreign affairs of other countries. I'm rooting for Israel. I support their efforts. I want them to burn Iran to the not burn Iran to the ground. Let me be clear. Burn their nuclear program to the ground. End it, but leave us out of it, please. Please. And I'm not saying, like so many of these people, and you know who I'm talking about, that Israel's dragging us into a conflict. I don't think they're doing that. I don't think they're doing that. However, I want to make sure that there are enough of us making noise for our leaders, right? Donald Trump, Marco Rubio, etc., for them to understand that that is not what we want. I would like you to pay attention to a select group of people, though. Pay attention to those people who are saying that the United States is involved in Israel's attack, despite the fact that the United States has claimed no involvement in Israel's attack. Those people pushing that narrative want this war. But Sean, they say they're anti-war. No, they're not. The people who are saying we're involved because of tax money, we're involved because of weapons, we're involved because we call Israel our greatest ally. Those people, and you know exactly who I'm talking about, they don't care who dies. They don't care about any of that. You know what they want? They want this war solely so they can come back and tell everybody, you see, I told you so. Israel dragged us into a war. Being right to those people is more important than keeping Americans safe. Those people want the United States to get dragged into this conflict between Israel and Iran just as much as Lindsey Graham, and it is disgusting. And you know exactly who I am talking about. Pay attention to who does this, because it ain't going to happen here. All right. I want to, we'll get into the Israel-Iran conflict. We'll take your calls on it. We'll probably start that a little earlier than normal this morning, because I know a lot of people have a lot of opinions. And I would love to speak to anybody who believes that we're already, involved more than in an intelligence role. Okay. Mark Konerke. You can call in at 631-527-4545. I'll give you the go-ahead. I am more than happy to have the conversation with you. Because that type of comment is exactly what I'm talking about. You so badly want to be right that you don't give a flying you-know-what if a war actually does escalate because of that rhetoric. I'm not saying that Israel and the United States are complete strangers. Obviously, we're trading partners. They buy a lot of weapons from us. We have a partnership when it comes to the sharing of intelligence. I'm not denying any of that. To say that we are, as I quote, in up to our eyeballs in involvement with this war is reckless. And it shows you that in my opinion, you're not thinking clearly. We're not thinking clearly. Okay? So, I would love to have the conversation as long as we can keep it civil, and we will open the phone at right around maybe 9:40 Eastern time, right around the 40-minute mark, so we can start having conversation. Now, as far as the comments in the chat, if you're going to start being vile about things, that ain't going to fly, okay? That ain't going to fly. So keep it civil. We'll have a conversation, and I believe it can be productive. Anything other than that, I think, is a waste of time. All right, before we get to all of these different things, and the list of people, by the way, who Israel smoked last night, I would like to get to a word from our friends over at OFP Farms. OFPfarms.com, OFPfarms.com, OFPfarms.com. Major, massive, insane sale. Folks, the world might be a whirlwind of chaos right now, but over at OFP Farms, the craziness has hit new heights. They are throwing a birthday bash for President Trump's birthday began yesterday, goes until Sunday, offering a whopping 47% off of your entire purchase. It's almost half off. That's almost BOGO territory, right? With deals this wild, stuff is going to fly off the shelves. But remember, it's only for what is in stock right now. In-stock items only are 47% off at OFPfarms.com. Items like their soaps. We love their soaps. Got the Revolution. We got the We the People. I got the Outlaw soap. Will leave you smelling like a felon. It is good stuff. I love it. We got the Goat Kisses lip balm. Amazing stuff. You do not want to miss this party. 47% off. Mark your calendars. Gather your friends and family. Head over to OFPfarms.com for a weekend of fantastic savings. Remember, deals like these don't come around often, so take advantage while you can. OFPfarms.com. The best soaps, the best lotions, the best lip balms in the game, made in America on their farm. Wonderful, patriotic Americans in Northern California. OFPfarms.com, promo code Shawn, SHAWN, for 47% off. And if you spell my name wrong, I will charge you a 47% tariff. And you will lose all of your savings. OFPfarms.com, promo code Shawn, SHAWN. OFPfarms.com, promo code Shawn, SHAWN, for 47% off at OFPfarms.com this weekend. All right. Import Grease Monkey says, got my package yesterday from OFP. Love my new soaps. Used it this morning. Yes. Love it. It is the best stuff ever. The best stuff ever. The best stuff ever. Okay. Israel has attacked Iran. That was the story of the day. Still is the story of the day. And I would actually encourage everybody, whether you're into this or not, I would encourage you to, it's tilted up a little too high. I would encourage you to look into this. Look at the markets. Look at, I was watching and I heard the rumors of the possible attacks, and we saw all this stuff. We talked about it yesterday. And the markets kind of reacted to the rumors, and then the attack happened, and the markets kind of reacted to the attack. But the markets, to me, don't look like they're anticipating this to become, as the sensationalists are calling it, World War III. It's not World War III. At least not yet. Could it get there? Of course it could get there. But for folks who, Israel started World War III, this is barely a war in and of itself. Israel launched an attack on Iran. Iran launched about 100 drones at Israel, and they lost, a good portion of their top military personnel. This is barely a war as it is. Now, of course, it could evolve. Of course, things could change, and it could turn into a full-blown war between those two countries. But I want to read to you a list of people. I mean, I don't know how many people Iran even has left in terms of their military, personnel. And finally, I could agree with some of the people on the end. This one was actually the Mossad. It was. Okay. This was Israeli intelligence doing what they do. They used, this is some great stuff. So this is a cool account on X. His name is Real Mac Report, at Real Mac, MAC Report. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi to the Saudi Foreign Minister, quote, the U.S. is responsible for the crime committed against us. The attack would not have been possible without the coordination and green light from Washington. As far as Washington is saying, and Marco Rubio is saying, Israel acted unilaterally. Iran would love to get us dragged into this conflict. I think we need to resist that. Before the start of the Israeli attacks, Mossad squads from within Iran operated to deploy systems in open areas near the location of Iranian surface-to-air missile systems. These systems either jammed or took out Iran's air defenses, which allowed Israel to fire air-to-surface missiles from their jets. Mossad drove around these strategic locations in Iran in covert vehicles. All of the systems deployed were built in Iran. Mossad had also established a base of explosive drones that infiltrated into the heart of Iran long before the attack. During the Israeli attack, the explosive drones were activated and launched at the surface-to-surface missile launchers located at the Asfakwabad base near Tehran, which poses a threat to strategic targets in Israel. Here is a list of all the Iranian terrorists who were assassinated last night in their homes. A lot of them were in their beds. Now, I want to just clarify this, okay? I don't like when people die. I don't like death. I don't like, it's not so much of a celebration as much as it is, but it kind of is though, right? I mean, I'm torn. I don't like death. I don't like war. But these people that were taken out last night are some of the chief leaders in that whole Death to America movement. So I can't say I'm shedding a tear either. The list of Iranian officials who were assassinated, most of them attacked in their homes in bed. General Mohammad Hussein Bagheri, Chief of Staff of the Iranian Armed Forces, gone. Hossein Salami, not a joke, that is his name, Commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. So the IRGC, their commander, out. General Ghulam Ali Rashid, Commander of the Khatem al-Anbiya Headquarters. Mohammad Pakpour, Commander of the Revolutionary Guard's Ground Forces. Ali Reza Tangsiri, Commander of the Revolutionary Guard Navy. Ahmad Ali Hajizada, Commander of the Revolutionary Guard Space Force. I didn't even know they had one of those. Esmail Khani, Commander of the Quds Force of the Revolutionary Guards. Alireza Soleimani, Commander of the Basij. Amir Mousavi, Commander of the Iranian Army. Amir Shahram Iranian, Commander of the Army's Navy. Alireza Fordistan, Commander of the Army's Ground Forces. Kuimars Hidari, Commander of the Army's Ground Forces. Nasser Zada, Commander of the Army Air Force. So it sounds like all of Iran's top military personnel are gone. What do they have left? What do they have left? I mean, look at that, AV 1965. Call me weird, but I didn't lose 1 minute of sleep over this attack. I didn't either. You know what? The minute I start losing sleep is the minute the United States gets dragged in. Naga, not gonna be alive anymore, as Speak just said. And Redneck 1776 says, yeah, they got the whole deck of cards. They did. And I don't think we're wrong to assume or to think that the world is a safer place because of it. I don't think we're wrong to assume or safe that at all. Arbev Mo says, if Iran had an active nuke, how long before the button pushed towards Israel? Absolutely. Especially because we have seen people in leadership in Iran express desires to, and I quote, wipe Israel off the map. And that's why if I'm looking at this from Israel's perspective, I can't blame them for doing something like this. Iran could not, it's not acceptable for Iran to have a nuke. Not acceptable in the slightest. Now, there is very worthy debate on whether or not Iran was actually close to getting a nuke. Okay? Very worthy debate. I mean, there are headlines that go back to 1995 that says Iran is a week away from a nuke. 95, it's 20 years, a long week. So were they close? Was it George W. Bush weapons of mass destruction again? Was it, were they more than a week away? Were they less than a week away? Were they a couple of days away? Reports that are coming out of Iran now says that they had enough enriched uranium for 10 atomic bombs. Okay? I mean, these are the questions that need to be asked. But the best part about it is we didn't do it. Another country did it. It is that country's fight. It is Israel's fight. And I support Israel in that fight. And for anybody who says, we must support Israel, you can. It is not our country as an operating government. And I want to be very clear. It is not our government's duty to take your money and support another country in war against Iran or in their attacks against Iran. It is not. That you cannot find that in the Constitution. It is not there. If you believe it is your spiritual duty to support Israel in this battle, then A, spiritually you can do so. I will never stop you from doing that. B, if you believe that you need to go an extra level, an extra step forward and say, spiritually doing it's not enough, I want to support them. You can donate. You can donate to, I'm sure there are going to be collections and foundations that are going to be launched that are going to be used to collect aid for Israel. You can do that. All I am asking is that the country, the United States of America, the Department of State, right, Marco Rubio, the President of the United States, Congress, all I'm asking is that the country known as the United States does not send massive aid packages to Israel, does not send free weapons packages to Israel, and does not put U.S. boots on the ground in this conflict. It is not our direct conflict. Make no mistake, it is in the United States' best interest if Israel is successful in their endeavors to denuclearize Iran. Absolutely. That does not mean we need to put boots on the ground. Folks, I'm telling you, anybody out there wants to saw your Israel, this is what America First looks like. This is what America First looks like. It is within our best interest if Iran is denuclearized. Absolutely. Absolutely. But that does not mean massive aid packages have to be sent, weapons packages have to be sent, and boots on the ground have to be deployed. Absolutely not. That's what America First looks like. That's what putting your country first looks like. If Israel needs weapons, they can purchase them from us. Hell, I'll even sell it to them at a discount. But we have to profit off of those sales. That's what America First looks like, folks. Now, as far as the Iron Dome goes with Israel, I believe there is a defensive partnership and a strategic partnership that both countries have with one another. That's a totally different story. I am not okay with sending free weapons and aid that will be used in offensive operations that Israel will be conducting against Iran. Free. No free. There has to be a transaction. There's got to be something in it for us. And it can't just be a denuclearized Iran. There's got to be a profit. That's where I am. Some people look at that. Oh, you're sitting on the fence. You support Israel, but you don't actually support them. No, I support them. If I didn't support them, I would say if Israel came and said, we'll pay you for weapons, the United States should say no. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying no more tax dollars flushed into an abyss. This does not need to become another Ukraine. This does not need to become another Iraq. This does not need to become another Afghanistan. The difference between all of those things and this is I firmly believe that Israel has the ability, far and away, to succeed without anybody's help. Without anybody's help. I'm interested to hear everybody's comments on this when we open the phone lines. All right. Before we do that, I got to get to a word. Hold on. Sorry. It's been a long morning. We were on 1210 WPHT. That was a lot of fun this morning. I got to get to a word from our friends over at My Patriot Supply. MyPatriotSupply.com. MyPatriotSupply.com/ungoverned. MyPatriotSupply.com/ungoverned. You know, things are getting a little crazy out there. Hurricane season has officially begun. Summer blackout season is right around the corner. You ever notice how the power always seems to go out right when you need it the most? That ever happen to anybody else? Yeah. Right when you need it the most, power goes out. Whether it's a heat wave, a summer storm, or just too many people running the AC at once, the fragile power grid here just can't keep up. That is why I want to talk to you about the Grid Doctor 3300 solar generator. Is there a doctor in the house? The Grid Doctor, we love it. It's a beautiful doctor. We love the Grid Doctor. It's from My Patriot Supply. This thing's an absolute beast. 3,300 watts of off-grid power that keeps your fridge, your freezer, your lights, even medical devices running whenever the power grid fails. Right now, they've got an insane deal going on. Nobody knows deals like I do, right? When you buy the Grid Doctor 3300, they will throw in 2 waterproof 200-watt solar panels completely and totally free. These are not cheap plastic panels either. They're super durable, waterproof, military grade, built to last through storms, heat, and who knows what else. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/ungoverned. MyPatriotSupply.com/ungoverned. You can screenshot this right now. You see it on the lower third. That's how you spell it. MyPatriotSupply.com/ungoverned. The page will look like this. And you can take advantage of this amazing deal. Grid Doctor 3300, 2 solar panels, 200-watt solar panels, completely free. The solar generator is safe to run in your home. It is quiet. There's no fumes. There's no gas needed. And you get those solar panels for free so you could charge it without running up your bill. Grid Doctor 3300, MyPatriotSupply.com/ungoverned, MyPatriotSupply.com/ungoverned. I also want to talk to you about the LFA TV store. Maybe you want to get a last-second Father's Day gift right here over at LFATV.us. LFATV.us. Click on that store tab that you see right there. Scroll on down and go to the right-hand portion of your screen. Hit visit the store. Take a look at everything that there is to offer, including there's going to be a big, beautiful pop-up. There it is. 20% off for spring cleaning, LFATV.us. You've got the Rise Up coffee that you can also pair up with this amazing coffee mug that the great, talented, beautiful, highly respected Barb Naylor put together just for the LFA family. LFATV.us, LFATV.us, or JeremyHerald.com/store. Check it out. Something for everybody there. LFATV.us or JeremyHerald.com/store. Okay, here we go. I want to move on to this. And this may be an unpopular take, but I have a feeling that a lot of the audience is going to agree with me on this. Trump said something yesterday that really, really got me upset. And he posted it on Truth Social. And I posted it all over the place and said, I don't know, this kind of sounds a little like amnesty. I don't want amnesty. I don't believe. What is my rule for illegal aliens? Deport all illegal aliens. How many exceptions? No exceptions. No exceptions. I do believe there should be triage, right? Worst first. Yeah, triage is prioritizing. It's like a medical term. So like if you have a mass casualty event, you treat the more serious injuries first and you treat the paper cuts last, right? Triage. But I saw this yesterday and I have to bring it up. Look, I don't want to be the nitpick Trump show. I know that maybe some people get a little annoyed with talking about the endorsements. This now is a policy position that I don't think any of us voted for. Watch this.
Peter?
Thank you, President Trump. I have two. First, on immigration. What made you change your mind about targeting in California farmers and people in the hotel and leisure business?
Well, we're not targeting. In fact, if you look today, I put out a statement today about farmers. Our farmers are being hurt badly by, they have very good workers. They've worked for them for 20 years. They're not citizens, but they've turned out to be, great. And we're going to have to do something about that. We can't take farmers and take all their people and send them back because they don't have maybe what they're supposed to have, maybe not. And you know what's going to happen and what is happening? They get rid of some of the people because, you go into a farm and you look and people they've been there for 20, 25 years and they've worked great and the owner of the farm loves them and everything else. And then you're supposed to throw them out. And you know what happens? They end up hiring the people, the criminals that have come in, the murderers from prisons and everything else. So we're going to have an order on that pretty soon, I think. We can't do that to our farmers and leisure too, hotels. We're going to have to use a lot of common sense on that.
And my other question about...
All right. I don't like the way it sounds. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like the message that is being sent. Donald Trump essentially echoing the same comments that Jerry Nadler has made, that crazy pastor had made. Well, if we deport the illegals, who's going to pick the food on the farms? Now, do I believe that the Department of Homeland Security and those in charge of mass deportations should be raiding farms before we get rid of drug dealers and gangbangers and violent criminals? Absolutely not. I am 1,000% in favor of the quote-unquote worst first approach. By all means, you get rid of the most heinous, violent criminals who are here in this country illegally first. No ifs, ands, or buts on that. No, we should not be targeting farms, hotels, hospitality, leisure, etc. Worst first. Absolutely. Priorities. Triage. But if there is indeed an exception that is made for illegal alien farm workers and hospitality workers and leisure workers, then what you're really doing is you're creating two exceptions. One for illegals who work in those industries, right? So you can come here illegally, you work in those industries. If you're here for 20 years and you still haven't found a way to become a citizen or become a legal resident, what are we doing? But the other exception I think is even worse. You're giving an exception to employers who are giving jobs to illegals, non-residents, whatever you want to call them, to avoid paying American workers a fair wage. And I'm not cool with any of that. What happened to make American, hire American? Is that out the window? These businesses are taking advantage. They are profiting off of illegal immigration because the illegal who they hire is not allowed. He's not allowed, but he can't lobby for a better wage. He can't talk to the government and say, oh my gosh, I'm being paid less than minimum wage. Why? Because he's here illegally and he can be deported. When I heard about mass deportations, I don't know about you, I didn't see the asterisk that said, unless the farmers get upset. Unless the hotel and leisure industry gets upset. I didn't see those footnotes, those caveats when we talk about mass deportations. Again, I am not saying that we should not prioritize the worst first. I'm not saying that ICE should be going, I know where we can go round up a bunch of illegals. Let's go raid that farm. While there's drug traffickers and child traffickers and human smugglers and gang members and rapists and murderers and crazy people that came into this country illegally. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying you cannot betray us that way. You can't do it. You can't do it. Because if you're making an exception for farmers and hospitality and leisure, how long until construction comes around and asks for that very same exception? How long until painters unions do the same thing? Or paint, the painting industry, or the plumbing industry, or the landscaping industry. How long until those businesses ask for the exact same exception that you granted those other ones? Because you can't just say, oh, it's for them and nobody else, because then you're going to be discriminating. You're opening Pandora's box with this one. Is Stephen Miller? This better not be your idea. I am not okay with that. Donald Trump can endorse as many rhinos as he wants. This is unacceptable. How long until this exception is applied to industries across the country and then all of a sudden everybody gets to stay? No exceptions. No exceptions. Here's what I would do. I'd go to these employers, farmers, businesses, leisure, hotel, whoever it is. You don't want to lose your guys? You could sponsor a visa. There are visas. There's a visa program that will bring these people in, seasonal worker visas. You don't want to lose your employees? Then you have to employ them legally, the right way. You got two options if you're one of these businesses. You can either let these guys get deported, you could bring them back, you could sponsor their visas and do it the right way, or we could find those businesses every single day until they get rid of these people and hire legal residents. I'm not okay with any of it. And I'm not okay with it because, again, I'm always thinking down the road, slippery slope. If this exception is made for farmers and hospitality workers and leisure, how long until other industries ask for the very same exception? And then when they don't get it, how long until they sue and say, well, you're discriminating against this or that or this or that? And then all of a sudden, you've got exceptions out the yin-yang, out the wazoo, and everybody stays in our country. I'm not okay with it. Again, I don't believe that we should abandon the worst first philosophy. Get the violent criminals out first. Those people are a much greater threat than somebody who has been working on a farm for the last decade and is here illegally and is just picking food. Okay? I'm not saying the farm worker who's here illegally, who hasn't done anything violent in our country, should be prioritized over a gangbanger. But when we get the gangbangers out, when we get the violent criminals out, those people have to go too. I'm not happy about it. And he said there's an executive order coming. So to everyone who told me on X yesterday to calm down, that, oh, he clarified it in a later Truth Social post. Well, I will wait until the executive order comes out and then take that executive order and post it all over the place and said, see, I told you. Look, you could say drain the swamp and endorse the swamp, and that feels like a kick in the nuts. That's fine. But when when one of the staples of Donald Trump's campaign has been mass deportations and cleaning up immigration, and then I hear some bullcrap that this sounds like amnesty. No. No. That ain't the game I'm playing. That's not the game I'm playing. And there are people whose lips are surgically attached to Donald Trump's ass who are silent on this. Some people support it. At least they're talking about it. Some people are silent on it because they know it's the wrong thing to do, but they're afraid. They're afraid to stand up for what they know is the right thing to stand up for. Willing to compromise on your values so you don't get people in the administration mad at you. You are doing the administration a disservice by not voicing your displeasure. Because if you take the road of everything he does is amazing and he doesn't do anything wrong, then he's going to think he can do whatever he wants, right? I would rather have a friend come to me and say, hey, dude, you're drinking too much, instead of telling me, keep drinking, it's good for you. You're a good guy out of loyalty. A real friend, a real supporter, calls out bad behavior from the people they love the most. Constructive criticism. This idea, with the exceptions for farm workers, hospitality workers, etc., is a bad idea and a betrayal of a major campaign promise if it comes into fruition. All right, finally, the House passed the DOGE CUT rescissions package yesterday. $9.4 billion. So that's a little bit of good news. And a little more good news. Yesterday, Gavin Newsom decided he was going to take a victory lap. Oh, a federal judge says that Donald Trump has to return control of National Guard to California. Yeah. Appeals court would like a word. An appeals court granted the government, Trump administration, an administrative stay, which will put on pause that ruling, and Donald Trump does not have to return control of the National Guard. Of course, under Title 10, he is well within his right to do so. That was a garbage ruling from a garbage judge, and it's not going to stand. Okay. Let's get to your calls at 631-527-4545. While you're all calling in, I'm going to get to a word from our friends at Armra Colostrum. It is tryarmra.com/LFA TV, TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV. Get those calls coming in. 631-527-4545. Folks, you know I'm always on the lookout for ways to strengthen my immunity and my gut health, improve my fitness and metabolism, and enhance my skin and hair radiance. That is what Armra Colostrum can do for you and more. Colostrum is the first nutrition we receive in life. It contains all of the essential nutrients our bodies need in order to thrive. It can help you reactivate your hair growth and help your skin glow. It can help fortify your gut health and ignite your metabolism. And it can help fuel your fitness performance and recovery. You can harness the close-guarded secret of elite athletes, long prized for its unrivaled ability to take performance to its apex. Colostrum has been shown in research to help enhance nutrient absorption, promote lean muscle building, and improves endurance while fueling cellular repair regeneration for faster recovery. Guys, specifically, colostrum has been shown to improve fitness endurance by 20%, decrease recovery time by over 50% after intense exercise, improve stamina, and specifically build lean muscle mass. You can get all the benefits of Armra Colostrum at tryarmra.com/LFA TV, TRYARMRA.com/LFA TV, tryarmra.com/LFA TV. We'll be taking your calls now, 631-527-4545. And if anybody has anything to say about Israel and you want to talk, keep it civil. 631-527-4545. Let us go to our friend out there in, I believe this is the great Kansas City. Heather from Kansas City. What's up, Heather? I'm doing well. How are you? Oh, wait a minute. Nobody can hear you yet. Wait a second. Hold on. Now we'll have you. There you go.
Okay, we're doing good. I was a little under the weather the other day. I think it was allergies, but better today. And we have one of those No Kings protests very close to my house, and my friend wants us to drive by and put Trump signs in her car. And so we'll see. I'll let y'all know how that goes.
Well, what I would say if you're going to do that is record everything you're doing.
Okay, I will.
Just in case. No, for your protection, just in case something bad. If they try and assault, you have a documentation. That's all.
Well, that's true. Yeah, and I mean, I don't know honestly. We're like in a suburb outside of Kansas City, so I don't know if it's going to be as big as the one in Kansas City.
Sure, probably won't be as rabid.
We still kind of want to be the boots on the ground and go see what's going on, even though my mom's like, don't do that. And I'm like, well, I got to see what's going on.
Yeah, no, the curiosity would get the best of me too. Yeah.
I mean, and then I'm really actually okay with Israel taking a stand, honestly, because they've taken this for so long, especially October 7th and things. I think they needed to retaliate. And I think they were brilliant in how they did it, to take out all those top leaders. And
I agree.
I mean,
and that just shows you, it was precise, right? And you're probably going to hear that, a civilian died here and a civilian died there. And it's like, you know what? I don't want to see it. I never want to see that, right? I never want to see it. Right. However, it's not okay what Iran has been doing to Israel. And this is unfortunately, it's war, it's conflict, and this is going to happen. Exactly. I want it to be as little as possible. I just want the United States to stay out of it. That's all.
Exactly. And I don't like that Iran stated in their quote last night. I don't know who put that out there, but that they're going to, payday for United States and Israel, but we weren't even involved, and we already said that.
Well,
I don't know why.
Here's the thing. Iran makes, these bold, inflammatory statements all the time. It depends, the words are words, right? We'll see if they act on it. And I'll tell you what, if they touch U.S. soldiers, if they touch our military bases, they're going to be sorry. So
exactly. Yeah. And I mean, like I said, good for them. And I mean, I'm a believer, and I believe that this is Bible prophecy being played out too. And I mean, it's kind of, watching. I just watch, and watch everything. A lot of times in the Middle East, what's going on. So, but anyway, I won't keep you from your calls. Thank you so much for your time, and you all have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too. Be safe and enjoy that protest tomorrow.
I will. Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. 631-527-4545. Little light on the calls today. This is not just for people who who disagree. Of course, the forum is open, but it is 631-527-4545, 631-527-4545. If you would like to call in and give your piece. Again, I don't have a problem with Israel going into Iran. I don't have an issue with them. Here we go. We have a call coming in with them going into Iran whatsoever. I just don't want to be involved. I certainly don't want to be deeply involved. All right. We have you connected. Who do we have on the line here?
I'm sorry. Repeat.
Who do we have on the line here? You're connected. You're in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, you're live.
Yes, sir.
Mark Kornke calling in.
All right, Mark. Let's go. You have some strong opinions on the matter, and I'm very interested to hear what you have to say. Go ahead.
Well, originally I worked as a 94B intelligence analyst, and we're joined at the hip and unfortunately paying for everything with Israel. Did you know that we're paying the pensions of virtually everybody and the payrolls for all of the Israeli government right now? That's in the bills that everybody just passed. So number one,
can you cite the language from the bills that says that in there? Do you have a way that it could be searched out?
No, this didn't just happen. This has been ongoing. State Department had already authorized this 4 years ago. This has been going on.
Do you have the documentation of that, though?
Back and forth.
But do you have the documentation? Is it out there?
Okay, yes, I do, but do a search. We're in a the idea is plant the seed and you can all do a search. Let me ask you something. How many synagogues are in Iran?
I don't know. I have no idea how many synagogues are in Iran.
Does Iran hate Jews?
Absolutely, they do.
Does Iran hate Israel?
Absolutely, they do. They've expressed it. Yes.
How many synagogues are in Tehran, Iran?
I don't know the number. I would imagine a
Now,
very small
the
number.
reason no. Why do they have Israeli or Jewish bus tours all over Iran to go to the synagogues that are all over Iran? Now,
Okay, but government-sanctioned synagogues doesn't mean they don't hate Jews. Okay, let me ask you a question, Mark, because you're going.
Well, hold on.
You're asking,
Stop before we go any farther. I said qualify. Hold on. Wait. I'm going to qualify something. Go do a Google search.
There's 20 active. There's 20 active synagogues. There's 20.
And do an image search. Now do an image search. You pulled it up. Now do an image search.
Since 1994, there has not been a rabbi in the nation known as Iran. Mark.
Oh, no, just the reverse. In fact, they have tours. Ignore that propaganda.
Mark,
okay.
We just no.
Guys,
no.
Okay, I know we're not going to be on the same page. We're not going to be on the same page on this.
You're not going to talk over me, Mark.
And no matter what,
I let you go for a while. Listen to me now. You told me to do a Google search. I did a Google search, and it proved you wrong, okay? So I'm not going to do the homework for you.
No, it
I'm
didn't.
not going to do the homework for you. It did.
No, it didn't.
There are 20 synagogues in Iran.
Bus tours going every week
there is not a single
Iran.
rabbi in Iran. They do not like Jewish people. They dance in the streets. They chant death to America. They chant death to Jews. So now I'm going to put you on the witness stand, Mark. Why do you hate Jewish people?
Oh, I have no problem with the kosher mafia. The kosher mafia has done all kinds of good things for us.
Why are you referring to
like the USS Liberty?
Why are you referring to
like
Jews
the
as the kosher mafia?
USS
Get the hell off my phone. Get the hell out of here. Get the hell out of here. That guy is a freaking lunatic. You know what? Ask me to do a Google search. We do a Google search. It turns up a result he doesn't like. It's propaganda. You know what? I give him credit. At least he called in. At least he called in. The kosher mafia? Who the hell do you think you are? Oh, I was an intel analyst. I mean, give me a break. I know what you did as an intel analyst. Under the desk with your other intel analysts. You know, if I had a nickel for every person who told me, I worked in intel, I know more than you, I'd be filthy rich. Patty Vest, to answer the question, what is his point? He didn't have a point. He came on and he filibustered. That's what he did. All right, let me get to another call here before we end up, or well, maybe we have to. Here we go. You are connected. You are live. How are you?
This is American Gal. How are you?
American Gal, how are you?
I am doing fantastic, and I agree with everything you're saying, Sean. Feel betrayed by Trump at the moment.
On the amnesty thing, I am not happy with the Trump amnesty thing whatsoever. I don't want to call it amnesty because it's not the word he used. It just feels like amnesty. It feels like softening of the stance. I don't like it. I know it's not we're not going to be in a perfect world here. I just wish that he would do a little bit more. Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely breaking a big campaign policy that he ran on. And
it's essentially, we're doing mass deportations, but we're making a carve out. And my problem with it is how many exceptions are going to be born of that exception, right? Because you could say, oh, we're only going to give it to these two groups. But what happens when other groups ask for it and cite the exception given to those two groups as a reason for their exception? It's just, it's crazy.
And we're always saying the Dems.
Right.
For me,
right.
But not for thee, and you're going to do the same thing only to people who mandated you, and that's all kind of wrong.
Yeah, I'm not into it. So what I think we need to do, if we're active beyond Truth Social, and let the president know that we don't agree with this. He listens to his base. His administration is active on social media. They watch. They listen. They take what we say into consideration, which is why I love this administration, right? I don't always agree with the things that they do, and this one is probably one of the biggest policy disagreements I've ever had with the Trump administration. But they listen, and that's important.
I agree.
They're supposed to listen. They put it out there. We've got to be very active and say, This could lead to bad things. Don't grant those exceptions. What these employers are doing is illegal. Why are we going to grant exceptions for lawlessness, right? We gotta be
Illegal is
better.
illegal.
Correct. Thank you, American
Period.
Gal. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Pray for our small towns. We got Dandridge, Morristown, Hamblin, and Sevierville.
Yeah,
They're
that's
having
right.
protests tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, be safe if you're near them, and if not, have a great weekend, and we will talk to you on Monday.
God bless all y'all. Love you.
All right. Thank you, American Gal. Thank you so much. We may have time for a quick 30-second call. If it comes in, here we go. We do have one more, and this is going to have to be a quick 30-second call. It's going to have to be very quick because we are running right up against time. So you are connected. We got 30 seconds, and go. Hello? Going once? Going twice? Okay, we have to go. I think that was, unfortunately, somebody listening to the screen and not listening to the phone, which is confusing at times. Sorry about that, but we're going to have to end it here. Jeremy Harrell coming up next on Live from America for the next 2 hours, LFA TV. I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend. If you are going to go kind of take a look at what's going on at these No Kings protests, I would say discreetly record. You don't want to inflame people with the what they're in their face, right? We don't want to be disrespectful. I say record for your own documentation and your own protection as well, just to make sure that, if something did happen to you, you have proof of who did it, what happened, and the police can act accordingly. Everybody have a very safe weekend. Happy Father's Day to all of the dads out there. Remember, OFP Farms has a 47% off sale all weekend long until Sunday. Use the promo code Sean. Show our sponsors some love. Jeremy Harrell up next with Live from America for the next couple hours, 2 hours, coming to you here on LFA TV. Don't go anywhere. In the words of our great president, we will never give up, we will never give in, and we will never ever surrender. And if all else fails, we'll just become ungovernable. Thank you. God bless you. God bless this one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll be back here on Monday. In the words of John Fetterman, good night, everybody. Bang gavel. We will see you Monday morning.